Welcome everybody to another edition of Talk and Ball. Look at all these beautiful guests we've got today. Of course, Jose is here. And Jose, do you want to introduce the rest of our lovely guests to the world?
We have Ash with us, who's part of Talk and Ball, who's just finished her great show with Adit from the Onside Banjara. And then we have two resident season ticket holders at the stadium in Lee Smithy Smith and, as everybody knows, Queen Ellie.
Yes, what an intro. We need to get you a tiara. We need to get you a tiara, Ellie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I've got the Steve Perriman on my hat.
Oh, yes. So I've got a hat in the other room that's got Harry Kane, Moussa Dembele, Dele.
Nice one.
Yeah.
I love them all. I wish they were still playing for us.
Me too.
Who's Harry Kane?
That helped yesterday. Right. Whose name is Harry Kane? I forget who said that. Whose name is Harry Kane? But so you guys, there was a match yesterday.
Was there?
Was there?
There was a match. There was a match yesterday. Saturday.
A match tends to be two, not just one, but two. So I question whether it was a match or not.
Yeah, until the last 10 minutes when we decided to play.
Well, until Jose's boy Valise came in, and then things changed.
What a great influence he made. Yeah.
So
I'm glad he got that goal.
He needed it. He needed it for sure, and it's the first of many for him. The first of many.
I hope so.
We are already blessed with tons of people in the chat, you guys. And if I don't get on these, I will get so far behind. Wayne Bonner's got his scores in, and he also says, "Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well. Another day done." And
Wayne, they're locked in. I've done them, mate.
You're the man, Jose. And Wayne, thanks for getting those scores in, buddy. Adrian is in the house, of course, on both channels, saying good afternoon. And then this one made me sad. Daniel said he's going to leave this comment and only leave it because he doesn't want to come across as negative. And I told him, please stay. You know, we won't call you negative. We don't think that. So hopefully we get more Daniel E in the house. Nita's here though.
Okay, sorry. Can I just say, Daniel E, I've only just read your comment now. Sorry, I was fixated on the scores. You're not negative, mate. You've got an opinion like everybody else, and you're welcome to have that opinion. Nobody shoots anybody down for any opinions that they've got. We all debate, we all chat. No. You know this channel already. So Dan, come back if you're listening, and you can comment away as much as you want. You know that you're welcome here.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And Daniel Lee, I'd like to add to that. You know, Daniel Lee is like proper Spurs. He's the kind of kid that escorted the team out. You know, when he was young as a kid, and so I'd say that all of his criticism comes from a place of love, and so I hope that he stays. And we all sort of love. We can love this club in different ways. It's all right to love the club in different ways. Please stay.
Yeah, true. And also, we can all disagree with each other's opinions, but that's because we have our own personal view on things. You know, what one person sees might be another person's good, and other person might see bad. You know, so everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, and then you've got Adrian saying good afternoon again to everyone. Nita is here. Hello, Nita. I have all your scores, Nita. I've put them in as well, so I've got them. You have Scott M saying to Danny, stick around and suck up all the negative energy. Scott M, exactly that, mate. Exactly that. You've got a lot of people saying hello to each other. You then have Donna Cullen here saying hello to everybody. We have Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, hoping that Donna's well. Talking beer. I also have your results locked in. You're done. David Clark says, I didn't use that word. Don't know if it was rude being a gentleman. David Clark is reminding us this podcast was late as Spurs defence closing down opponents on the edge of the box. We have Nita saying hello to all of us on the panel and to everyone on the chat. Talking Beer saying, Daniel, it's okay to be negative. I was rude to a lot of people yesterday because I had already had a bad day. My meeting ran long and I only got to see the second half of the debate.
Yeah.
Ben from the coffee company. Good evening, Ben.
What up,
Hello,
Ben? Good to have you here, Ben. Yes.
Boy.
You've got Bobby K saying hello to all of us and everyone in the chat.
Bobby K, our newest mod for White Chat Lane.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Audio Artisan saying good afternoon.
Yes. What up, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you as always.
And Talking Beer again, I apologise if I've ever been a dick to you. I'll do better as Talking Beer. Right.
Same.
We're there. Colin, what have you got for us?
Boom. Well, guys, so yesterday we played a match, and again, I know we already talked about that, but Brighton plucked our feathers, it seems like. And I wanted to ask you guys, to me, it seemed like everything was going wrong from the very, very outset. And I guess I just wondered if we can kind of go around and see, like, where you guys think the problem started or originated, or I mean, you guys could see what I could see, right? Like from the very outset, we weren't on the front foot. We weren't playing good football. We were misplacing passes. So where do you think it went wrong yesterday? And we can start with Smithy, because Smithy, you're hardly ever here. It's nice to have you, man. So yeah, did you see what I saw? Like
Smithy's always here, just that we don't. He's not always on in the chat on screen. But
you
he's
know,
in the chat, so
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Smithy, good to have you, bro.
Well, personally, for the first, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, I thought that we played okay. Like, our passing was good, etc., etc., and then it all just fell apart. I don't really know where it went wrong, to be honest. It just collapsed.
It did.
And then
hungry.
It just looked like none of us was like up for it, really. You know.
I have this theory that we go out, and I think a lot of teams do this, but we go out and we play a team, and they're below us in the table. They're not, one of the top big six teams, and I think we can take it easy, or like that we can, not have to go out there and really give it our all. That's just how it comes off to me. A lot of players look like they just expected it to be, like they just expected it to be a win, to be an easy win. I don't know, Jose. Do you think that's the case at all, or am I making that up?
What's that, mate?
That we go into matches thinking that we're going to win, like these matches where we're not playing against like a Manchester City or we're not playing against Liverpool. I don't feel like we go out and I don't feel like we play as hard as we do against those teams.
I reckon you should ask this question of the ladies and for Smithy, because when I get introduced, I've got a lot to say, so I'm not going to say it yet.
Well, Ellie, do you agree that it seems like we don't always get up whenever we play the so-called smaller teams, the teams that aren't the big six?
The thing is, Brighton finished in the top 6 last season, so they proved themselves last season, so we should have been up for it. But we just fell flat in a lot of areas, especially in defence, because our defence weren't finding our midfield players, and our midfield players weren't making themselves available. Because I've seen something from another podcast that a lot of our midfielders, especially Højbjerg, wasn't making himself available, but he was. But they just weren't passing it quick enough. And when he got fed up, players are human beings. If you make yourself available and they don't pass it to you, then that's their fault. But the intensity wasn't there. The drive wasn't there to get us over the line. We just fell flat. It was like a very flat, boring performance with a lot of bad passing and not enough intensity to win the match until the last 10-15 minutes when we made the substitutions. But then we started playing and our intensity was good. Yeah, but before that, it was like we were dead to the world. It's like we think we're going to turn up on the pitch and win the match, but you can't do that in the Premiership. The teams will find you out. However low they are, they will find you out. And we got found out yesterday. Plus, we had a lot of injuries and we had a lot of suspensions and lots of different reasons why we lost. But mainly because the players didn't apply themselves properly, because they can play a lot better than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I'm very disappointed, and it wasn't just one player. It looked like like you were saying, Ellie, the entire team didn't quite look up for it.
Yeah.
You mentioned the midfield. That was something I wanted to talk about, and I'll go to Ash real quick. Ash, with the midfield selection, how did you feel about that? I guess going into the game when you saw the team sheet, you saw who the midfield three were going to be. Did you think we got this in the bag? I mean, it's gonna be easy. Were you worried when you saw the team sheet?
So when I saw the team sheet, I wasn't happy because I wanted Gio to play. I thought that, when you have two center backs out, the there's no point trying to defend. Just attack. Just go for it. Like play Gio, play all of the players that will creatively unlock the opposition. So I wanted to see Gio play. I want like play the best players, play the best team. But I have a feeling that Ange perhaps doesn't like Gio that much because even when he's available for picking, he doesn't pick him unless he really has to, which he did in those 2 or 3 games in the middle when Gio scored. But I wish that he would pick him. I know that Gio gave away that penalty, but I'd rather see him in the midfield. I didn't have a problem though with Højbjerg playing. I don't think Højbjerg was the problem. Yesterday, at least, pardon me.
Careful when we mention that name.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Take
No,
criticism.
I'm on Ellie's side. I genuinely don't think that yesterday's problem. Like I think Sar or the entire midfield had a bad game. Sar had a bad game. Kuru had a bad game. So I don't
Sar
think
couldn't string a pass together. It was annoying.
I know he didn't look like he was fit.
It was annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And if Højbjerg had scored that goal that hit the post, we'd be talking about it.
4-3. Yeah.
So
Richie hit the post also.
Yeah, but he was the outside of the post. He just skimmed it. He should have scored.
Yeah.
That was an easy one to score.
I actually jumped up, so I thought that was actually in.
Yeah.
I bet Valise would have scored that one. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I bet you that's a ball Valise would have put away.
Yeah.
And I see Jose smiled a tiny bit when I said that too. I'm watching him. He's excited to talk about his boy.
Yeah.
Is that your favourite player? Is it Jose?
Right?
No,
We
I think for Liz. Sorry, Ash. Sorry, go on,
Sorry.
carry on.
No, I was just saying that we can't hold one or two players responsible for something that was a team bad performance. It's very easy to say that Emerson was terrible. He was, or Højbjerg was terrible. I mean, he wasn't the best. But like, it's very easy to single them out. But the truth is that we just didn't click, and none of us played well. I only except for Vicario. I will take Vicario off criticism.
The whole team played bad.
Vicario played
below what they
Vicario
can
played
do.
well. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to highlight this comment from Daniel. He just said, "Big up, you're all real ones, especially you, Ash." The words, they're big up to you all. Tottenham is life. I'll be honest. I'll come across as being a little negative, but I love this football club. We know you do, Daniel, and we are glad you're here, man. Yeah, no hate, no judgment. It's a safe place here to talk about how you feel, man. So thank you for being here. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Smithy.
No, I was just going to say, if we didn't have Vicario last night, I think we'd have been in some massive trouble, man. Serious trouble.
It would have
Because
been
he made
about 8-0
four.
rather than 4-0.
Yeah, he made 4 fantastic saves.
I know.
I know the penalties weren't his fault, but Jesus Christ, if we didn't have that player.
Yeah.
Penalties, the penalties, isn't it? You can go the wrong way.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't his fault that they.
At least he didn't fall down exactly like like Pan Hands would have done. But no.
He's that's a gem, man. We've got there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was one of the ones that was mad that we didn't get Raya, and that we got Vicario. I was actually pretty upset about it, and now I look kind of like a fool. But I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. Vicario is the better keeper.
Yeah, don't worry about Raya. He's gone to the dark side. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
He's gone to the field.
You look at Brighton's team, right? Hardly any of those players are household names, are they? They're all either plucked from the youth or they've plucked them from other leagues.
And they played so hard.
They played so well yesterday. They moved the ball brilliantly.
Who's their player that scored that third goal that come out of nowhere?
Estecunian.
It's the only second Premier
he's
League
just
goal,
come
isn't
back
it?
from injury. What
And
a world
they said
is.
his great. They said that he's got footballers in his family all the way up to his great grandfather. We're pro football.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he comes from like a footballing family apparently, which is pretty cool. I think that's a neat. I mean, obviously getting scored on by him. Yeah,
And
came
they
out of,
had
like you said,
Matoma
came out of
as
nowhere.
well.
Yeah, no, literally.
And it
They
was
had no Matoma, so we can't blame it on just us having, players out. They had players out as well. We can't use that excuse.
I'm glad they didn't have Matoma, Ellie, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah.
Christ.
He would have roasted us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I fully agree. Just want to get through a couple more of these
Like,
comments.
Jose's gone like full pelt now.
He's gone dark side. We mentioned the dark side. And
I heard Smithy called me out. He called me the dark side. I had to come out.
Yeah.
Go dark side.
Dark side.
North Jose.
Right.
So
we all go like that?
There you go. David Clark though says he's not going to sugarcoat it. He loves Ange football, but he's afraid that only a drunk Sunday morning coach would select Royal at center back. No coordination, no athletic stride, no positional sense. What do you guys think about that? I mean,
you see, there was patches where I didn't think Emerson was that bad, but then obviously people have read out his heat map today, and he was absolutely rubbish. But
on the eye test, it didn't look so bad. Yeah,
I thought he'd done some all right things, but
got up the pitch pretty well at times. Kind of joined in the attack. I
know that he loses the ball and the ball gets taken off him every single time, but
yeah,
I thought for what we had, I thought he was okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Porro was the more disappointing one because we expect more from him. He done one brilliant ball though to Sonny, but Sonny just didn't get it under control, and it was such a shame.
Do you know the only player I thought that was okay when he came on was Brian Gill?
Yeah, a lot of people.
He looked like he was trying to do something.
Didn't he?
Look who's underneath me.
Trying.
It's the cough. What's up, buddy?
I'm alive.
I'm alive. All right, Benny.
We're here.
We're talking about the awesome match yesterday. Spurs' beautiful display of attacking football.
Are we gonna let Ben go before
Can
me?
I ask one
Ben's
question?
got a lot to say as well. So
I'll let Jose go first.
I have a feeling this guy has a lot to say too. Yo, Adrian!
How we doing, guys? Great show earlier, Ash. Good work.
Thanks, Adrian. I hope you understood some of it.
Yeah, I was on.
Yeah, it was really good.
Trying to throw a few questions in and facts just so you could keep the ball rolling,
You're the man.
Yeah.
Before we go on to Ben, sorry, Smithy, what was you going to say? You were saying something, mate.
Was there any reason? Does anyone know what the reason was why Donnelly didn't get put on? Because he was stood there waiting to come on, wasn't he?
Yeah, Jamie Donnelly. Yeah, he was standing there, and then they never put him on.
Yeah, what was that about?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I didn't even see that. I'll be honest, you guys. I was working and watching.
He looked heartbroken, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was heartbroken. I know.
That breaks my heart just to think about it.
You
So I
know,
thought, yes, he's going to get like 10 minutes. I thought, yes.
Right,
And
that's
he
a
just
solid
didn't
little
come
chunk of time for sure. Yeah, that's a bummer. Maybe we'll hear more about that. Maybe something will come out. Maybe a reporter will ask in the next press conference.
You know what was disgraceful is what Giovanni Di Celso did to João Pedro.
Yeah, what did he do? He whispered something
He
and then
went
pushed
over
him,
to
didn't
him
he?
and whispered something to him.
I love
And
that.
then
I love that. I
that
think
was
he said something like,
disgraceful.
"You're a bitch."
No, but I can before right.
Don't do
But you
that.
got to remember the Argentinians and Brazilians don't get on, so they're always going to be. They're always biting each other just by
I
saying
know.
one comment. So
But you're
the
supposed
Celso
to
can
be
say any comment.
concentrating on the match, not doing stupid stuff like that.
Agreed.
I'm surprised he didn't get a card for that, actually.
Me too. But I guess
don't
they
think
couldn't
the ref
prove.
saw it.
And I guess they couldn't prove that he said anything bad. I mean,
He might have said, "I love your wife. She's really good looking." Yeah, it's something harmless like that, and he bit for it. Anyway, just before we carry on, I want Ben to go because Ben has been waiting to rip. I've seen it in the chat. I sent him the link. I want to hear Ben.
Turn his mic off.
Well, people usually do that anyway. But there is no excuse for for Dorrington and for neither of Dorrington and Phillips to play yesterday. There is absolutely no excuse. None.
Hang on.
We're
What, both
told
of the bench?
both of them should be playing. Both of them. Both of them. Because Ben Davis is not a centre-back. He's done actually quite well the last few games. He's done okay. Emerson Royale is not a football player. Period. He's not a football player. He is vibes. He's an Instagram model. He's a rapper. He's not a footballer. He cannot play simple 5-yard passes. Yet we're sticking him in the most important part of an Ange Postecoglou team, the centre-backs, because they get the ball and progress it through midfield. Every time he got the ball, they put one player on him and he folded like a deer looking at a Cybertruck going towards him at full speed. He is awful. Fact. Great soldier, good lad round the dressing room, terrible footballer. I won't have anyone say it. It's not an agenda, son. They were all awful, but he was in particularly awful because he had the chance to play good. He shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there. There is a reason why no one wanted him. There's a reason that Barcelona laughed at us when we bid £30 million from them. They laughed at us. They laughed at us.
They're like, sure, here you go.
I'm smiling, by the way. My hat's smiling. Højbjerg,
They keep him for the banter.
dreadful. But Højbjerg, even though he's awful, he has his qualities. There is no excuse for not playing Phillips or Dorrington. At least one of them. They've been lighting it up for the under-21 team. Oh, but under-21s football is not the same as senior team football. You've got to play them. You've got to play them at some point. I thought that Ange Postecoglou likes it when his players make mistakes, which is what he said to James Maddison when he made that mistake against the Arsenal and they almost scored a goal. Make more mistakes. But suddenly we don't want youth players to make mistakes and learn a valuable lesson. Bollocks. You're just flip-flopping. They should be playing. They should be playing. They're natural centre-backs. They should be playing. And what if they turn up? What if they go into that position and have a great game? That gives them a hell of a lot of confidence. But no, we've got to play Emerson Royale there or Eric Dyer, players that have failed for 3 years now. Eric Dyer, in fact, for 10 years. Why are they even here? We've bought Phillips, who was doing really well at Blackburn. We've bought him. He was playing week in, almost week out for Blackburn. We've bought him and we've stuck him on the bench. We've ruined another kid's career, just like we ruined Madueke's career by not playing him. The guy that went to Blackburn and then did his ligaments. I can't remember his name. Markande. We're ruining young people's careers by buying them and sticking them on the bench. What is the point of Jamie Donnelly being there? What's the point? He's ready to play first team football. He's doing really well. He's doing really well for the youth team. Send him out on loan if you've got no reason to play him. Play these kids. You're ruining their careers. What is the point? Every time they're on the pitch and they see a crap player in front of them, that's what's going to ruin their confidence, because they're going to say, look how bad Emerson is. Surely I'm better than this guy. Surely I can make a mark on this team. That's what's going to ruin their confidence, not them making a mistake. And again, I thought the season was a free hit. Every season community said this season is a free hit for Ange Postecoglou, where he rebuilds the mentality and the philosophy of the team. But now you're suddenly thinking, oh, we're going to win the title. Well, we're going to get top 4. I thought it was a free hit this year. I thought it was a free hit.
That good start. That good start.
It's the greed of the club. It's the greed of the club wanting to make top 4.
We're making excuses.
That's all they bloody care about. But if you care about it, why are you playing duff defenders who are not naturally play? They're not suited to those positions.
Yep. Just play the boys. It's a free hit of a season. It's a free hit. Do you really want us to get Champions League football with no centre-backs and play 3 games a week? We will be embarrassed. week in, week out, we will be embarrassed if we play with no backup centre backs. Our only centre back is Eric Dyer. Imagine we come up against the Barcelona on a Wednesday night. They would batter us. It wouldn't even be 4-2. It would be 6-7-0 if Eric Dyer is your centre back.
So, hey, real quick, Ben, I want to ask you: do you think the good start to the season has affected people? You know, we were saying the season's a free hit. You know, Ange needs time to do his thing, but I think that really good start to the season got to a lot of people, and I think I don't want to say made them like selfish, but you know, it changed expectations for this season, and I don't know if that's at club level as well. But I don't know. Do you think the bald man is influencing Ange and telling him who to play?
Can we go to Adrian with that? Because everyone's had a go, and I'll let our guests all have a chat. So go on, Adrian, you answer that one, mate.
Is Levy telling him who to play?
No, that's not. Manager wouldn't have that. Any manager worth his salt doesn't let that happen. But to add what Ben said, yesterday was the perfect game to do that. To blood one of them young centre backs, and the reason I say that, when you look at the game, Brighton aren't exactly got an abundance of pace. Matoma's out of that team. The winger they tried to keep hitting down the left-hand side. Pedro, what was his name? I forget his name.
Pedro.
Right? But he ain't got great pace, right? So what Brighton do when they haven't got the pace, they do what we didn't do efficiently. To make up for a lack of pace, you move the ball quickly, and they moved the ball quickly, and they got it amongst us, and they could have scored before they scored, but we settled down. Then we shot ourselves in the foot. Decky gives away. I mean, look at the game overall. What really happened, right? If you look at it harshly, you want to be defensive. You say, well, they got 2 penalties and scored a worldie goal to beat us. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot. We did the same way to Wolves in the last 6 minutes. We did the same at Chelsea, right? Decky's now picked up his 5th yellow card. He misses the game against Bournemouth. That's our 7th suspension this season. Our 7th. This discipline problem. Now, I didn't mind the shithousery on the touchline you were talking about earlier, because Lo Celso wanted the player to get off the pitch quickly when they were making the subs, because we got a bit of respect for on the scoreline. It's 4-2. We wanted to make their subs quick because we don't want them running down the clock. But that's all part of the game now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, just going back to your bit, I thought actually. Jose's been going on it about for one. I thought actually, Velez to me yesterday, I've only seen him on videos before, very short cameos. I thought he looks a striker. He does look a striker. Even though that was a snatched goal, it was a striker's goal. You know, I mean, and I'm glad he's got that one off his back, because there's nothing worse than waiting to score your first goal for your new club. And for the little we've seen, he looks okay. He looks okay. So now, I predict we're going to get Rado Dragas in early in January. I think this deal's virtually done and finalised personally. And
you think it's already done, already signed? You know, they agreed to and everything with the player.
Yeah. The recruitment team. Look, he wants it early. This is just a fee. He's got to be paid up. I reckon I think that'll be done early in January. That's a
difficult block there, Adrian. Paying the money.
Well, yeah, because he's 21. I mean, I think everyone I'd have preferred to Debo. Not that I've seen much more on him, only on the videos I've watched, I've posted in my group, and that is because he's got another 2 years under his belt and got the more experience, basically. But
we got the younger guy.
Very highly rated in Italy, you know. And the thing is, like Ben was saying, Dorrington and Phillips, they're not slow. They got pace.
Yeah,
they're good and they can pass the ball. They wouldn't give so many balls away at the back. Yeah. Emerson Royal, technically shit, right? Look, I ain't going to throw any of our players under the bus. When they go, I always thank them for my service and away you go. But he ain't good enough. Davis, actually, I mean, we all know Vicara was the best player. Yes, actually, Davis didn't do too bad yesterday for what he had to do, but it was always at the back mopping up and trying to sort, square things. But apart from that, you can't point fingers and dip at it. You could point out Kulusevski for the penalty. You could point out Lo Celso for the penalty, because that 3-0, you know, the fight back was good. We've seen that's what Ange ball's about. You've played at the last minute like we used to on the Poch. So, no, it was just a bad day at the office to point a finger at anyone. But now, like, you know,
I want to start having this conversation after Jose has his rant.
Yeah,
I think we need to start talking about Yves Bissouma. I said it in the chat before.
One more red card.
If Yves Bissouma gets another red card this season, I want him sold. I don't care how much money we get for him. I want him sold. Because the amount of time I want him sold. Because this is why Antonio Conte, love him or hate him, wanted him gone. Because he played for 2 minutes, got a stupid red card, got dived at Luton, and then got another suspension. He's had 3 suspensions already this season. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
And what makes it worse, Ben, is the fact that his suspension, like the AFCON follows on from his suspension. If there was a gap after that and he played 4 or 5 games and then went away, it's different.
Yeah.
So footballers should know this. They should know. I mean, we know that the Argentinian, Brazilian players are they're very aware of when their national sides are in competitions. You know, so like, and I think they make it double sure they don't get injured or put in that extra tackle, even though they can be very prickly, those South Americans, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I want to come back to Jose. It's so everyone has had a little chance to speak. Somebody told me you had a little ranting you wanted to do.
I don't know whether it's a rant. All I've got to say is what I said before the game started, leading up to the game. I said, and it can be clipped because I said it on the channels and everything. I said we need to play at least one of our young centre backs, and I said with Davis at the time, bring one of them, whether it's Alfie Dorrington or whether it's Phillips. One of them has to play alongside. Bring him in for for the game for Brighton. Bring him in. I kept going on about Kumbala from Man United, 19-year-old French player who got brought in to play alongside their 5th or 6th choice centre back, and he got brought in for his debut against Liverpool. So all this young shit and bollocks like that is crap. There's no reason why one of our young centre backs should not have played. And I said this before the game, right? And the other thing I also said is that I feared that Postecoglou would go with either Skip Højbjerg at the 6, Sarr and Kulu, where I said I didn't want to see Skip or Højbjerg. I wanted to see Sarr as the 6, Lo Celso as the 8, Kulu as the 10. That was what I would have started with, but we didn't. Now, hindsight, now the game's over. For me, you either start one or both of the centre-backs in the next game against Bournemouth. Solanke's 6'4". Unlike Brighton don't lump the ball in the box. However, Bournemouth do. They get their wingers to put the ball in the air to Solanke. Solanke on the deck, but also in the air to Solanke. We need a 6'3", a 6'4" centre half that can nullify Solanke in the air and also play football where we're not going like that from the back, which we do with Emerson. The other thing I'll say is that also I'm going to go with, now that Kulu's out, give Donnelly that, start him in the 10 berth. Yeah. Start Donnelly in the 10 berth. Go with Sarr, Lo Celso and Donnelly. Let's see what Donnelly's got. Give him that start. But we need to start Donnelly and we need to start at least one of the young centre-backs. If you're not trusting Emerson, but you're trusting Davis, because Davis up until yesterday has done well filling in, start one of them at least. Start one. You've got to start one. And the other thing I was going to say is Veliz, he's only had a few minutes here and there, but people that are in my chat yesterday, as soon as he scored that goal, I put into the chat straight away, there is a boy with passion. He scored a goal with 4-0 down, regardless of 4-0 down. The passion he showed of scoring that goal. And he looks, to me, he's raw. Don't get me wrong, Adrian. I still think he's a raw player. But from what I can see and what I've seen of him, he looks to me like a proper number 9.
Way more than Richarlison. Richarlison is that weird hybrid.
I'm not going to argue about one player against another. I'm just saying that he looks like a proper number 9. He scored his goal, and then there was another ball that was played from the right over the top. It's gone over the centre half's head. He trapped the ball down with his right foot, swiveled with his left in one action, and it came off the defender and came out. Now,
Have you watched him play and Spurs play for the under-21s?
No, I watched highlights of him playing out in South America before he came on. So I've not seen him play
I've
for
watched
the
some of them.
21.
Look good. In the under-21s, I see him first game I see him play. He missed 2 sitters, right? He missed 2 sitters. He did a Richarlison. But after that, you know when you get a player on a field and he just stands out amongst everyone else who's on there? That's what he looks like in that level. So if he isn't ready now, he's very close to being ready.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Postecoglou said it as well, didn't he?
Sorry?
Postecoglou said it as well. He said we're going to see Felice in the second part of the season.
6 months, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want all this talk about Garassi. Garassi, who's cheap, got a cheap clause. You have to remember, Garassi's away to AFCON as well. Sergio Garassi, right? He's away with AFCON. Don't want him. His strike rate and Solanke. People talk about Solanke. No, his actual strike rate, all right, he's having one of them seasons that some strikers have throughout their career. But his strike rate compared to his career is 1 in 5. We're never going to win jack shit with a striker who's got 1 in 5 strike
You're
rate.
not going to win jack shit anyway, Adrian, though, are we?
True, Ben, but
You're not going to win anything with this ownership.
6 games you can win the FA Cup, right? But on average, I mean, I got Josh to do this for me in here, actually, like when we were chatting. I mean, I said, Josh, go and get me the average amount of goals since 1992 that it's taken a Premier League side to win the Premier League, excluding Man United with a 50-goaler like Haaland, right?
Yeah.
The average, this is what we got to think of when we're bringing in strikers and our front three that have only really clicked at Bournemouth anyway, right? We know they've got potential. Johnson he played him in an away game at Arsenal his first 90 minutes. That was brave advantage. Don't forget we got 2 20-year-old kids in Sarr and Udogie, you know. Kulu's only 23, you know. So we need 82 goals was winning people the league. You look at our squad, look at it not this season, for next season, where the hell are we going to get 82 goals for? Now, obviously, we want to get Champions League, and if we get 36 more points to add to the 36 we've got on average since the Premier League began, 72 points, will get you Champions League. So that means, in theory, that with 19 games left, we've got to win 12 of them or get 36 points. So we could still lose at Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle, Arsenal at home, and still get Champions League football. Because we've got to win. We've got to get 36 points out of the 57 that are left. So there's 21 points left. So in theory, we could lose seven more games and still get Champions League football. We know we're not going to win the league, which is what my biggest hope now is that we do get 3 or 4 in January.
I almost think we have to. We're in a position where we have to reinforce in January, or else things are just going to fall off a cliff, I think.
Can I just take it back, Adrian? You said we haven't got a Haaland from United as a 50-goal man. Did you mean Højlund from United or Haaland from City?
I mean Haaland from City, obviously.
Because you said Haaland from United. So I'm only saying it because all of a sudden I see that Michelle Zacharias in here, #1 Man United supporter, and he supports our channel. So I was just wanting to make sure whether you said Højlund from United or Haaland from City.
So, I mean, he scored his first goal, didn't he, the other day?
First Premier League goal.
First Premier League goal, yeah. Because he scored in Europe, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And you got to read between the line with his transfer links. And we've been linked with Conor Gallagher, who's a good player, and Calvin Phillips, who's a good player. But when all our midfielders are fit, do they get in a team? Do they get into the 4? If Decky's back out the wing, do they push out Sarr, Bentancur, Maddison, or Basuma if he doesn't go, Ben? Right, go
Gallagher might.
No, Gallagher wouldn't get in the team. Gallagher wouldn't get in the team.
And when you're talking
the one 50, that would get in the team,
and you're talking like 40 to 50 mil for each of them, and if we got money like that, we know it needs to be spent on the defence, right? Well, on one centre half, because we can bring one of the 2 kids in and rotate them to make up the 4th centre back. But we know that, right? I mean, we might get the young kid from Ajax, Stanisai, Dumbo, Mazumbo. Sounds like an African dictator, doesn't he? That name, like, you know. But he's 18, but he's a skillful little sod. I mean, like, but he's in the last year of his contract, refused to resign. So apparently, we know we're in for those options. So
Yeah.
Calvin Phillips was getting the Tottenham team, I think. I think, and
Over Basuma.
possibly not over Basuma quality wise, but I
Maybe
think if
over
there is a game where we need to hit more long passes, which Calvin Phillips has got an amazing long pass in his locker. It's one of the things he's really good at.
We've been missing that since Toby.
Yeah, or an old school Tom Huddleston style player. He can, if you need to play two sitting midfielders.
there's no way Conor Gallagher gets past Bentancur, right? Not in a million years.
No way.
No.
He doesn't get
No
past.
one.
And he doesn't get past. He's a different type of player, but he doesn't get past Maddison either.
No.
So when we look at
Another
these,
player he would be
But he
competing
could
with.
he
is
could
Matt
get
Starr.
past Star.
But
Star's
for
still
50
learning the
million,
game.
no.
Sar's really good. Sar's
Star's
really good.
good, right? But he's still young and he's still learning the game.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
He's got an
He'll
error in
get
him,
better.
but he'll get better and better as he gets older and older.
Yeah.
He's only 20, isn't he? So he's got lots of time to improve.
So exactly, 100%, and he will. He's going to be a really important player for us. Already is. I can see the difference in our play when he's in the match and when he's not. But real quick, guys, I always do this, but I gotta say hey to some people in the chat. We've got a really full one today. Dan E is showing love. Ben Kaufman's here now. David Clark says our 2 goals didn't really count. They reminded him of trash time in the NFL when teams are getting trashed and lose but score points late that have no relevance to the result. Big up, David. He's saying that he'd also get rid of Romero. He feels the same way about Romero.
never,
So
no.
No, Romero has performed this season. Romero has performed this season and last season. Basuma played 4 good games at the beginning of the season, then did an embarrassing dive to get sent off against Luton. He then got stupidly sent off against Nottingham Forest, and he also got 5 yellow cards to get another suspension. Romero at least has put in work. He scored important goals. He scored an amazing goal against
that
Burnley.
was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He scored a goal against West Ham, and statistically, I don't know which stream it was. There was a stream. Statistically, we play better when Romero is in that team. We're more aggressive.
Yeah.
We have more impetus. It was your stream, Ellie, with Kate. It was your stream.
Yeah.
With Kate.
Well, we haven't won a game when he's been out.
Who's that man?
There he is.
I don't know what happened there. There we go.
Yeah, it's true. We haven't won a game without him being in the team.
And
When he's in the team, we've either drawn or won.
an important fact which people miss out with Romero. All right, we know he's a bit headstrong, but I like aggressive players because aggressive players are winners. Give me an aggressive player rather than a passive player who lets himself be shoved off the ball, walked over.
True.
Then first 10 games we played, got the highest amount of points any league team's got in the Premier League, right? We did push up and play the high line. That was before Van der Ven got injured. Since Van der Ven's been injured, we haven't played the high line. We haven't played it. We haven't played handball high line like when Poch used to sit on the halfway and keep pressing teams, recycling the ball and all that.
Yeah, we don't have that recovery pace.
Yeah, and that I think has been so when the team hit balls to beat the high line, which is over the top of your fullbacks or down both wings, all Romero and Van der Ven have to do is run and win the ball. That's why he didn't get a booking in them 10 games. Because if you can read the game well and you outrun the striker, you've got a 2 yard, even if he's faster than you, you've got a couple of yards on him, 3 yards on him, you're going to get the ball.
Yeah.
And he holds it on the byline, Romero. He doesn't just kick it in a touch. He tries to distribute it. He tries to be progressive with the ball. And I think not playing the high line, which we haven't played. Someone tell me when we played the high line since we won in 10 games. Oh, it's Chelsea against
We only
Chelsea.
do it at free kicks, really, or set pieces. We play the high line. That's the only. But like, remember,
Sorry, can I
even-
just nip
even
in quickly?
intensity.
Can I just nip in quickly and I'll pass it back to you? You've got Still Cool here, saying new here. United Spurs Jacob, let me know about the channel. You're welcome, Still Cool to be here. And can I also say that we have a comment here from
Whoa!
Alongside Banjara, who was today's guest with Ash. So Adit, nice to have you here, sir. Nice to have you here.
Good to have you here, man. Very good to have you here. And haven't won any game without Romero.
Right.
That was a stat I wasn't aware of. It makes total sense. I mean, we play completely differently with him in the team. And I wanted to ask Smithy.
Yeah, they said that on the football terrace as well.
Sorry, what did you say, Ash?
Will Stewart said that on the football terrace that we haven't won any game without Romero.
Yeah, I totally believe it. Believe it. But so,
before you go to Smithy, do you want to let Ellie was talking when I bought the two contacts. Let Ellie finish and then we'll go to Smithy.
Yes, absolutely.
I heard Will Stewart on Football Sheriff last night, and he made a very, very good point. He said with Romero, I've said this as well, by the way, but just about the press. He's such a good presser of the ball, and the intensity of our team is lifted with him in the side.
Yeah,
we play with more intensity and we get forward more. He distributes the ball so well from defence as well. So it gives us that edge and we get going forward. Because once our forward players have got it, we've got a chance. You know? I know yesterday they underperformed, but that was just a bad day at the office. But normally they score those goals. We had 9 chances, guys, off target. You see, so we did create. We created, but we weren't accurate.
True.
We've yet to see if Van der Ven can pass the ball like Romero, the long balls, because Romero plays as quarterback. He sort of plays shotgun. But in that position, he moves the ball. Sometimes you think, I'll move it a bit quicker, but even at its slowest, he moves it quicker than Dyer in that position. So, so would Ashley Phillips and Dorrington. Dorrington's probably the better passer out of the two.
Yeah, I think Dorrington's better on the ball than everyone else. I mean, not Romero and Van der Ven, but Dyer, Emerson, all of these people. I'd say Dorrington's better on the ball than all of them.
And he can bring the ball out very well, Dorrington, I've seen. He's very capable on the ball. He's a bit like that Todibo we're after, who can bring the ball out really well. You need that in a defence. Somebody who can link defence to midfield to attack. You need that. Yeah. We haven't got it in Davis and Emerson. They just haven't got the skill.
Remember Toby, those long balls he could just ping up and just put them on a dime?
No, nobody's that, like, none of them are that good. I think Romero has it. Everyone else, it's to be seen.
And maybe it would be amazing if we could find a player that could pull that off, and because that really gave us another outlet and helped us to play out whenever they were pressing us hard and we couldn't play out from the back. Those long passes were brilliant. Kim is in the house. Kim62, what up, Kim? Thanks for being here. Big up. Just wanted to say, I kind of wanted to throw this one at Smithy since Smithy hasn't said anything in a while because we just keep talking and talking. Smithy, would you say that they were just more physical than us? I mean, that we just came out and got bodied. That's what it appeared to me. It's just that we got beat to all the second balls. You know what I mean? We were getting pushed around. We were getting bullied out there by a team of players that on paper should be less than, not as good as us, but we were thoroughly outplayed. Do you think it was just that aggression and that fight you're playing with?
Firstly, can I go back to the kids in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
Right. I don't think he's going to start 2 of the youngsters at the same time in the league to start with. Where I do think they'll get their start is in the FA Cup against Burnley, because I personally don't think we're going to take that seriously this season, the FA Cup. I think they're focused on top 4. That's where the money is what I wanted to say about that. And what was the other question?
Oh, sorry. Basically, just do you think that it was because they were just playing and wanted it so much more than us that they beat us? It just looked like we got beat to every second ball. Like we were getting bullied out there by a team that in all honesty, I don't think should be able to bully us. Would you agree though that we got just straight bullied out there?
Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, our passing was horrendous. We couldn't string a pass together. Our defending was absolutely shocking. Yeah, I said earlier, it just looked like we wasn't up for it at all yesterday until the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, 100%. And I wish we could have gotten something out of it, but there was just no chance.
Well, in the last 10 minutes, I thought we was actually going to score a third one. I was thinking, can we?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think if we got that third one, I think we would have got an equaliser as well.
I was thinking that
We
at
were
the time.
pressing them.
Yeah.
We've been so much better. As soon as Lo Celso came on, Brian Hill, he was busy, but he didn't do very much as such.
He was kind of making things happen, though,
Ellie. A
Ellie.
few good balls in. He was a very busy player, but he just didn't do enough with the ball for me.
Well, we don't know if he was trying to do things, but
he goes to Ellie's house. Brian Hill needs to visit Ellie's house for a couple of dinners. Then he might be able to play football because he won't be shoved off by someone clapping their hands in the stands.
I think
he needs some protein, mate. Brian Hill needs some protein. Then he needs to serve him up some lamb claftico and some gyros.
Damn right.
Yes, he does.
Brian Hill makes me look
a bit of macaroni as well.
Brian Hill makes me look obese. And I don't know if I've got the arms of a twig, but I'm still...
I've seen you, Ben. You're very slim.
So I'll be honest. That was when work kind of picked up. Was when they brought Brian Hill on the pitch, but so he didn't do much. I'm guessing. Wasn't very influential.
No, he looked like he was trying to make things happen, but he gets knocked off the ball too easy.
Yeah.
That's always been.
He's a very busy player. You're right. He tries. He does try, but he's got the skill. He just hasn't got the physicality. He needs to get his physicality right so that he can cope.
Yeah. Scott M's got some scores, and Scott Jose has got those for you. Jose is the stat man.
Sorry, I've just been typing them all in now as I've seen them. So I've currently got from live. I've got Beer Talk, Scott M, Nita R, live on the show already. So I've got them.
Boom, everybody. Great job. So, hey, real quick, look who's walking and talking.
Yes.
It's Josh. He looks happy about the match yesterday. I heard you had something to say about the match.
Yeah, I do. It was single-handedly, that match single-handedly was the worst football I've ever seen us play since the back end of contact. It was the worst football I've ever seen. But I got bored towards the end of the first half. I sat here on stream. We were 1-0. We were 2-0 down, and I said on stream, I don't even want to watch this anymore. I'm bored. This is boring. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. And I come off the stream. I watched the highlights and caught the second half. I mean, we got 2 back, but it's what was the point? Like we got 2 goals. Yeah, fantastic. But we also conceded another 2. Yeah, that was undeniably the worst football I've ever seen us play, and it just goes to show we need 4 or 5 players in January. Like there's 0 excuses, and we need to start early. You know, Saad's going to be out, Basuma's going to be out, Son's going to be out on the way to African Cup of Nations. We need to bring players in. And they have to be of a significant quality as well. I don't want none of this cheap alternative bullshit. I don't want us going saying, I don't want Ange Postecoglou going, I want this player who's 30 million, and Daniel Levy being like, no can do. He's a 15 million player like for like. Bullshit. We need names. We need top quality players brought in, and we need them fucking yesterday. I'm sick and tired of this same mediocre bullshit we are seeing Tottenham play week in, week out, and we as fans are supposed to lap it up like dogs. I'm sick and tired of it. This is our club, not Levy's. Fuck this regime. Get behind Ange or fuck off out the club.
Josh, name your realistic targets.
My realistic targets, okay, Tadebo, Dragistin, we linked Solanke now as well. I'd take Solanke any day of the week. Calvin Phillips looking like he under Ange could slot into this system. A lot of people say, oh, but he can't work under Pep. That's Pep, different manager, different style of football. If he works under Ange, it's good enough for me. All right? Where else can we go? There's names off the top. There's names upon names. But you know this is like transfer window, January. It's booking season. Ivan Toney's going to cost £100 million. There's no way we're playing that. No, it's cooking season. We're going to be linked with every Tom, Dick and Harry under the sun, and we're going to bring in 1 or 2, and we're expected to lap it up. It's not good enough. It is not good enough. We are Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. If we want to claim to be one of the big 6, let's start acting like one of the big 6, and let's bring some players in through the door.
Yeah. And not to cut you off totally, my mom is here. What's up, Ma? said
Hi,
she's
Julie.
enjoying the panel
Hi, Julie.
today. Yeah, me too. It's a great panel. We put together a wonderful panel today. Thank you everybody for joining.
For any innocent ears that are watching, I do apologise. I'm just very emotional, as you can imagine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your
you could
passion,
have
mate.
watched it later.
Give 'em
You
your
don't know.
passion.
That's passion for you. That's what we needed on the pitch yesterday.
Delise showed some, that's for sure. So
I-
I was gonna say Jose's got to go before too long. And I just wanted to know for the next game for the Bournemouth match, are you putting in Phillips and Dorrington? If you're
Like I said, a bare minimum has got to be one centre half of the young uns at least as a bare minimum. I'd play both, but as a bare minimum one. And you've got to play Donnelly in the 10. Keep Højbjerg and Skip away. Start with Sarr as your 6, Lo Celso as your 8, and go in with Donnelly as your 10.
So
Simple.
You would play Sarr, Donnelly, and Lo Celso midfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarr as a 6, Donnelly as the 8, and I'd play Donnelly as the 10. But I would not stick Højbjerg or Skip in as a number 6.
Listen, I'm not being funny. Højbjerg's linked with a move away, and do you know what? I'll happily open the door for him. Ellie, I know you love him, but I haven't got an agenda. I'm realistic. He does not suit this football. He hasn't for the past 2 years. I want the back of him, but we need a good fee for him. End of story with him.
So here's the funny thing with Højbjerg. If Højbjerg goes to Juventus will win the Serie A, and he'll be the one laughing at us because he'll be like, right, I'm in a team that suits my thing. Juventus will win the league, and he'll be like, enjoy Lancashire.
He won't be the last one, will he? He won't be the last one that leaves.
But then, a caveat to that, Ben, would be how many teams are competing for the Serie A? Inter, AC Milan, Juventus, Napoli. There's 5 or 6 teams in that league that are competing for a place. Okay, you look at the Premiership: Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, just to name a few. The English Premier League is the hardest style of football. It's the most fast-paced, back and forth football, and it's very, very hard to get anywhere in any competition. The same 5 or 6 teams do it in Italy. There's no competition. I'm sorry. You can sit here and win a trophy. It's like winning a non-league title, in my opinion.
How many teams have won the Premier League in the last 5 years?
You could say that in England though as well, Josh.
Man City win the league every single year.
Man City are on a downfall. Man City are on a downfall. Liverpool are going to walk the league this year. Liverpool are going to walk the league.
We always say that until about February. They clap their hands together and like, right, lads, do you want to go and win the league? And then they win 10 games in a row and they win the league. It's what always happens. We always say it's Man City. They're on the downfall. Pep's finished. They're crap. De Bruyne's finished. Blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly, right, let's win 15 games in a row. And they go and do it and they win the title. It happens every year.
They're consistent. The second part of the season, they're always consistent.
No one wins the league in December.
That's right.
So you guys, there's plenty of comments here. So many that I can't get through them all, really. But I just want to ask you guys, and we've already got Jose's answer. But so we've got the Bournemouth match coming up. Are you confident? I just want to go around in a circle and just hear if you're confident that we can get some points out of that match after the display yesterday. And we'll just go in order, and we'll start with Ash. Do you think we're going to get any points for Bournemouth?
My heart feels like we'll win, but everything else is said. Every other part, like my head, my fingernails, every part of my body thinks that we're going to lose that game. Simply because we have no midfield. We have no midfield. Kulu's gone. Skip, I don't know if he's coming back from injury or not. Bissouma's out on a suspension. We literally just have, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Sarr, and I love both of them, but they're not filling me with a lot of confidence after this previous game. And Bournemouth is not a team that'll sit back. Like yesterday I almost missed the low blocks. I missed them. I was like, at least you don't expect them to come towards you.
Right. You're not chasing. You're not literally chasing the attacker back to the goal. And right.
Yeah. But I think you know what? I'm going to go with my heart. We'll win the game. What the hell?
Love it. I love it. So we got one vote for a win. So that brings us to Queen Ellie.
Yeah, I was going to say to Ash, go and get your nails done before the match.
There you go. Yes. There
Yeah,
you
no,
go.
I think we'll win because I think they'll be shamed that they played that badly and not putting another performance like that for sure. Come on, they can't play as bad as that again. And I want to see one of those centre backs playing. Dorrington, I would prefer. And I would love to see Donnelly get a chance as well, you know, because he's been waiting patiently. He's got 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. And yesterday he was gutted not to get on. You could see the boy, right? But I think we've got enough to beat them. Especially that last 10 minutes gave me a bit of encouragement, you know. So I'm thinking we're going to win 2-0. I think we'll hold out, but we do need to play a proper centre back to get that result.
Yeah.
That Welsh boy that plays for both. Is he playing this year? The Welsh boy, the striker that I can never remember his name. Big striker. What's his name?
Yeah, I know who you mean. The one who scored against us.
What's his name? Big lump. He's like a Welsh Andy Carroll. He
No,
always.
I know who you mean. He scored against us a couple
he
of
scored
seasons
against us
ago,
last
didn't
year.
he?
If
Is
he
it Billing?
plays,
Is it Billing? Philip Billing?
no, it's not Billing. It's let me look at the Bournemouth squad.
Oh, I know who you mean. It's the other guy, but I can't think of his name.
But guys, so Lee, while they're working up that, Lee, what do you think about the match? Do you think we're gonna get any points?
I can never predict us to lose because it's not in my blood.
There you go.
Right.
Yes, good man.
I'm hoping we're going to bounce back. I don't think it's going to be easy. Bournemouth have got nothing to lose, and they're on the up at the moment. So I think they're going to put a fight on. But I don't think we're going to lose.
Oh, that's the one.
I can't predict the score, but I don't think we're going to lose.
I love
Who is it?
I love it.
Keith Moore. Big lump. Big
Oh,
lump.
Keith
Keith
Moore.
Moore, yeah.
He scored
If he
2 goals
plays-
against us when we beat them 3-2.
I gotta Google him.
That's it.
If he plays against Emerson Royale and Ben
Oh my
Davis, we are getting battered.
You'll eat him for dinner.
Yeah, he's 6'5". He's a big boy.
Benji,
Big
what do
lump.
you consider battered?
6'5". Wow.
He will
Yeah.
batter Emerson Royale. He's so strong.
Yeah,
He's
but what
not-
do you consider battered?
If
We
he
got
goes,
no choice but to play one of the youngins.
he will batter them. He's
Yeah.
big, he's tall, he's strong, he's a nuisance, he's good in the air. Everything our centre backs are not good at. And they lump balls, Bournemouth. They lump balls in the box, and we struggle against physical teams. We always struggle. We got through Everton, which was a very
Yeah,
decent
just
win,
about.
just about.
So
We deserve to lose that.
Struggle against physicality, and we showed it against Bournemouth. If Bournemouth come up and ready for a rough and tumble, we will fold.
And I thought we were past that shit. I thought we were that was old Spurs, man. I thought we had changed. I thought things had gotten better. I thought we were mentally stronger now. But you're right. I mean, I agree with you 100%, Ben. It's just a freaking bummer.
We've got so many players missing, though, Colin.
That's
So
very
it's not
true.
like we're not going in with our strongest team. Nowhere near our strongest team.
Very true. Real quick, guys. Jose in the private chat has asked if he can get his predictions in. He's got to run soon. Jose, I don't know. Were you talking about getting him in live, like on the show, or did you just want to enter him in like a comment?
No, sorry, I just could hear people saying what their thoughts were for the result for the Bournemouth game. So that's what I was going to talk about. Was that for me, for the Bournemouth game, if we make the changes that I want, one centre back minimum of the youngsters, if not both, and put Donnelly in at the 10. If that happens, I reckon there'll be a bounce in our team. And if there's a bounce in our team, although Bournemouth are on a good run, Everton were on a good run before we played them. We got away with that. I agree with Ben. We got away with that. But we got a W against our name. There is no reason if we make the changes that I'm thinking of, bring some of these youngsters in, we'll have a bounce. And if we get that bounce, I reckon we'll come out winning 3-0. That's me done. Get your predictions in, Michael. I've just seen that you've put yours in there. I will plug yours in now, mate, and you're part of the league. Everybody else that's in the chat, if you want to put them in, we'll pick them off the chat. Otherwise, put them in the comments at the end of the show. My last comment is thank you to the chat. Thank you to the panel. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. See you, Jose. Have a good one, buddy.
Buenas noches.
And then there were 7. Yeah, guys.
Colin, I have to go as well, darling. I have to go.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Ellie, thank you so much for being here. No, you were all good. Everybody, Ellie is a member.
Bye, Ellie.
Everybody go check
darling.
out Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. That's the channel you
Just
can
a Girl
find Ellie on
Loves
when she's not here.
Find
I'll put
me
the link
there
up.
Tuesdays and Fridays. Yeah, so come on, you Spurs.
We'll
Take
get the link
care,
up for you,
everybody.
Ellie.
Much love to everybody.
Big love,
Bye-bye.
Ellie. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
being here. And then there were 6. Guys. Yeah,
It's
I don't
sounding
really...
like an Christie novel now.
Exactly. And the thing is, I don't really know where Spurs go from here. I mean, this is our first like spanking type loss of the season. You know what I mean? We got beat by. I know that Chelsea beat us. I know that the Chelsea thing happened, but that was Chelsea. We should. That's a team that I expect sometimes to be able to beat us. I mean, like that's a team that I wasn't. Brighton.
Let's not get it twisted. Brighton weren't exactly great either. It was hardly a spanking. We just didn't make the most of the chances that we had. Yeah, we couldn't get through. We couldn't get through their defense. If you think about it, if you go back on any chance that we had, they had 6 or 7 people in the box just trying to stop the ball from going through, and it worked. We didn't make the most of the chances. We just couldn't pick apart. We couldn't pick them apart. We couldn't finish that dinner yesterday.
Yeah, De Zerbi's not a bad manager. I'll say that. He knew how to line up. That's the one kind of danger of Ange Ball is that it's predictable, you know. Everybody knows what he's going to do. So they can line up against it and, you know, however they see fit. And De Zerbi, I think, got it right. It did look like he kind of packed the midfield and the defense. And then they played on the counter a bit. But they just came out looking so strong and physical and hungry. And I think that whereas we both had players out, instead of like feeling sorry for themselves or you know, putting their heads down, they were like, okay, here's our chance. So let's get to work. This is our house. Let's show them. And Spurs just couldn't cope.
We've really struggled against that high line. They played the Tottenham way against us. They played our own style of football against us, and they pulled it off better than what we did.
Yeah.
I do think that, you know, there were a bunch of long balls in there, and our defense was just simply too slow to get back in time for when they threw the ball over the last man, and so there was a lot of space in behind. So it wasn't a tactical. In a sense, it was tactical in the sense that it always came from the right mostly. So it was always Emerson Royal who was under pressure. Like the first. Both the open goals were coming from the right? Like the open play goals came from the right. So in that sense, they specifically targeted a player, and they were lucky at doing that. But I also think that it wasn't like Ange lost a tactical battle. It's just that he didn't have the players there to play the way he wanted them to play. So it's just that if they had strung a few passes together, we would have probably drawn that game at least. So yeah, I agree with Josh.
Yeah. And Smithy, what do you think, man? I mean, was it just a bad day, just bad luck?
I pretty much agree with everyone else. Yeah, I don't think we was up for it.
Nina says it right here. We got bullied. Simple as that. Yeah.
We just haven't got the players, have we?
No, we don't. We really don't. We definitely need some reinforcements. I hope Levy sees that. Hope we get some in quick. I don't know. Ben has been around the block for a while. Do you how many incomings do you expect in January, Ben? 2?
In my dreams, 2. In Levynomics, none.
Somebody said here, I
We
saw
will
a
be
comment way
desperate to
back.
sign players. We'll be desperate to sign players. So other teams will up the buying price, because that's what they always do to us, because they know that Daniel Levy has messed them about in the past and they want their own back. We won't get anyone. We'll try and sign Dan Juma on the last day of the season, and then we might get one in. That's what we always do. It's what we always do. We muck about when Ange Postecoglou says, I want my players in early. What that tells you, if we do get someone, it will be on January the 30th. And it will be one.
Leavenomics says Leo,
Leavenomics.
my eye Hotspur. Exactly.
Big up, homie.
Leo, big up, Leo. And Blue says he thinks that we'll win. I think we will win. Super Team Bournemouth 3-1. Brighton was a different team. They have lost many games, so they need to step up more than anything in front of their home fans. That is a good point. Brighton had a lot to prove. They had players coming back from injury that had a lot to prove. And so.
How many injuries do Bournemouth have, by the way?
Good question. I can find it out. 1 second. Well, I mean, I
Because
think I can
Bournemouth
find
have a full team. We've struggled. Bournemouth are playing really well at the moment. We cannot underestimate Bournemouth. I'm seeing a lot of underestimating from the Tottenham fan base about other teams. Every single game in the Premier League is a difficult game. There are some really good teams, and Bournemouth is no exception. They are a really decent football team. They're playing really well.
They put out a pretty full strength squad against Fulham the other day. So it does not look like they have many players out.
Yeah, I think the only injuries they have currently is Lloyd Kelly, who's supposed to return soon.
Who was supposed to be buying? Yay! Spurs medical team was signing another injured player. Yay!
It's not happening, Ben.
Not the medical team. You beautiful, beautiful people.
And then Hamed Traore.
Yeah.
So with just those two out, I mean, they're still dangerous. I can't believe they got Neto as their keeper. Neto is a great keeper. Like Jose was saying, we're gonna get bullied. We're gonna get bullied. Hopefully, we got one of the strong defenders in there to kind of compensate for that. But guys, we have been going for like an hour. Is there anything anybody else wants to hit? Any other topics that you guys think we missed?
Yeah, just quickly. If we play the same way against Bournemouth as we played against Brighton, and we field the same team, and there isn't a change in that centre back pairing, we are going to get taken to the cleaners. There is absolutely no excuse why there should not be changes made. I do not want to see Emerson Royal in a Spurs shirt again, ever. Period. Sell him. Tear up his contract in front of him. I do not care, injury crisis or not. I would rather not feel. I'd rather play with 10 men than play with Emerson Royal on the pitch. Same goes for Eric Dyer as well. There needs to be a tactical change. There needs to be a change in players. Bring on one of the youngsters for all I care. I know I keep trying to take care for the youngsters, but something needs to give. Give one of the youngsters a chance. It might change. But if we do not change and we do not pull our fingers out, we are getting taken to the cleaners. And I don't think we will. I am predicting that we are going to lose comfortably, but from Bournemouth, we're going to lose 2-0 at our own ground. We're going to get smashed.
I hope you're wrong, and I think you're wrong. I don't think.
So do I. But you know what? I've always said if I bet for Spurs to win, we always lose. So in reverse psychology, if I bet for Bournemouth, we don't win.
There we go.
I'm exactly the same. Every time I put a positive prediction in, we lose. So I'm going to go full eel. I would rather be in the mud and happy that Spurs have won than be right and then lose. And
so
I'd
guys,
rather be in the mud and happy. I'm going to be in the Dead Sea. I'm going to be rubbing the mud on my face, smooth skin. I'm finally going to have smooth hands with my horrible, horrible coffee hands. And it's going to be great. I'll happily be in the mud.
I'm calling you coffee hands from now on. Coffee hands.
Right?
And coffee is actually really good for your skin. Like it's a good exfoliator.
But it means you soak more caffeine through your skin, which means you're always hyper.
I just had a huge cup of coffee right before we started. But guys, let's go around.
No, not for drinking.
Well,
Can you put grounds on your hands?
No, but you suck caffeine through your skin as well.
Yeah.
I've looked in my crystal ball
Yeah.
for next week.
That's what
Transfer
I was about
window,
to ask.
opens.
Yeah.
I see Rado Dragosin coming in. You can clip this for fun, right?
Yeah, we will for sure.
I can see, as Ben said, because we're still going to need some sort of number 6 where Sar's going to end up at 6 or 8, not sure. So we're still going to need someone to come on and shore up when things go bad for us. So I can see us going in for Calvin Phillips. I think the stories about Conor Gallagher are smoke screen. They like the player, but That and that.
On top of that, Chelsea won't sell to us without hiking the price up. How much is Conor Gallagher worth? 35, 40 million in today's market? Chelsea are going to ask for 65 million minimum.
I wouldn't pay it. And because in my crystal ball, I see an Italian called Paratici out there hovering around Juventus. I can see us getting Samuel Illing Jr., who we've been interested in. I can see us getting someone from Italy because Paratici working as a consultant. And if it was just 2 kids to bring in, actually, rather than the Ajax 18-year-old tricky.
We don't play 18-year-olds, though, Adrian.
I know, but there's one kid out there I would like, Ben. There's one kid I'd like out there, and that's Arthur Vermeuren from Royal Antwerp. The kid's a baller, central midfielder, come defensive midfielder, but he is 18. But his value's doubled because he had a great game against Barcelona for Antwerp. And got a video up on him, and he looked for his age. He's got maturity behind his years, but he looks an absolute baller. So, yeah. So I'd like him, but that's only on a video look. So, yeah.
Yeah, Nita, real quick. Nita says we played like we had frostbite, knocked out of the ball, couldn't keep the ball even to draw a foul to slow their game down. For us trying to change the game, and our changes came too late. 100% Nita. And I think, I mean, Postecoglou is not an idiot. He'll see that. He'll realize the mistakes that he's made. We all said at the beginning of the season that we're going to give him a season. He can make some mistakes, so we can't. I don't think we can crucify the guy quite yet. Well, I would like to go around and get score predictions as we do for the Bournemouth match, and I want to start with Lee. If you're good, Lee, you all right, brother?
Yeah, I keep having coffee fits. 2-1.
2-1 to Spurs.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Ben.
2-1 to Bournemouth.
2-1 to Bournemouth.
Either 2-1. I'll be positive and say a Desmond.
There you go. Love it. 2-2. So then we'll go up kind of diagonally to Ash. Ash, what have you got? What's your score prediction?
Against my better sense, I'm going to say 3-2 Spurs.
Sweet. I love it. I would love that. And then it comes down to Josh.
I'm going full Eeyore. 2-0 Bournemouth.
2-0 Bournemouth at home.
I'm the only one that's allowed to go full Eeyore.
Yeah, you can go half Eeyore if you, but he's got the right.
I'll go 99.9% Eeyore. How's that?
Fair.
Ben, you going to the game?
Yes, I'm going to the game.
Ben will be there. Ben, cheer loud for all of us. I need to get a talking ball banner that you can bring in there and see if you can get that taken away from you. Get that taken by the stewards. But no, guys, thank you so much for joining today. Today's show has been kind of a wild one. We had an awesome show this morning. Ash had her White Chalk Lane show. So everybody, go check that out if you haven't. And I am sleepy, so I think I'm going to go get a little bit of rest before working it out.
I'm glad you didn't ask for my prediction.
Oh, well, Adrian, I forgot. Let's get Adrian's prediction. I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm so sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it.
Well, can we get it, though?
I'm going 3-0 Spurs.
Yes! I wanted somebody. I
wouldn't leave my house and go to a game if I didn't think we're going to win. I wouldn't even be a season ticket holder if that was the case. So I never back us against us at home.
Boom. Will you be there?
Yes, I will be there.
Nice. So I need you cheering loud and proud for all to hear as well. We need you there. You're the 12th man. It sounds like somebody came back. It's Josh. Talk and walk. Hey, bro.
Sorry, I pressed the back button on my phone by accident.
No worries, mate. No worries. We were getting ready to pop off.
It's all right. We missed the positivity.
Yeah, you missed Adrian.
All I'm going to say, Sunday, 7 p.m. Transfer Talks, episode 2. Tune in, talk and ball.
Boom. Everybody, you heard.
I'll be there.
You heard.
I've got to do the, what's it called? And as always, Levy out.
Boom. All right, guys. And I'll play us out with everybody's favorite song. We can't wait for the man to be back. One of our own, the one that we need the most. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Big love. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Check out El Tal Cockerel. We're dual streaming to that channel as well. That's Jose's private, personal channel. Also, please watch White Chat Lane from this morning and go to the Coffee Company. At least Smithy Smith is here. Please. And then also we just got everybody. Adrian is part of Talking Ball. Josh, part of Talking Ball. We've got Ash, part of Talking Ball. It's crazy here. So everybody, please be a part of this craziness with us and have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone. Big love. Peace.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.